So I stopped making videos about the keto diet because it's really not interesting to talk about anymore. When I first started talking about it, that was, I don't know, 2012 or 2013 when I first started posting on it. I did it because there was no information out there. No one else was talking about it. So, I had been doing the diet for over 2 years. I don't know if it was quite three, but over 2 years, and um, I was not interested in it for fat loss. Um, I was just interested in it for like cognitive performance, health, things like that. I realize that now it's being marketed as some kind of incredible fat loss thing, and well, it really isn't. You can lose fat on any diet. People have proven this by eating Twinkies. So take it for what it is. But I'm going to mention the carnivore diet here because now that's the new hot thing. And I'm going to say that I actually like the carnivore diet. But the reason why I like the carnivore diet is very important for me to note why. So here's the deal. So one, it's an elimination diet. So you're taking all these other things out of your diet that are probably causing irritants like oxalates. And there's definitely some benefit to that in itself. But where I feel the real benefit is in the carnivore diet is that it's mono dieting. And you can do that with potatoes if you want. You could do the potato diet. I think there actually is a paper on it even, where you just eat nothing but potatoes. And that's totally fine. The reason why I think this is important is because a lot of what we do with our eating is habit. We eat the same foods over and over and over again. Even if you have a lot of variety in your diet, your variety is still probably the same foods. I mean, you're eating chicken and broccoli and, beef and spinach and potatoes and rice and if you have some fun foods in there, you like Snickers bars, you probably eat Snickers bars all the time. If it's your favorite candy bar, you probably eat your favorite candy bar. Ice cream, but I get a different flavor every week, sure, but it's ice cream. And so the point is that a lot of what things that we do are habit. We eat at roughly the same time every day. You eat your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, roughly around the same time. We snack, and we repeat these behaviors over and over and over again. And this is a major part of dieting. So like if you want to lose weight, you have to actually break those habits. You have to break those behaviors. And I think that that's why mono dieting is actually a really good option. Even if you're just going to do it short term, like, oh, I'm just going to do it for, a month, it'll help you break those habits. So, I'm going to eat nothing but steak for a month. One, hold your horses. No one's going to die from nutrient deficiencies or anything like that in 1 month. Okay, so before people freak out and they're like, oh, there's no vitamin C, you can go a month without vitamin C. You can go a month without eating. Okay. So I don't know why people are being hysterical about that. That certainly doesn't make any sense at all. No one died from not eating fruit for a month. However, the really important part to this, and as I said, you can do it with any food. If you want, you could just eat nothing but rice or nothing but potatoes for a month. You get the same effect. The bottom line is that it breaks all those habits that you already had in place. And so now, you're going to eat steak. Well, if you eat the same food over and over again, this other weird thing starts to happen where like you're not really all that hungry for more. And part of that, I think there's a book called like the Dorito effect, but the idea being that we actually seek novelty, so new foods, new flavors. And so there's like this weird effect that like imagine yourself eating this huge steak. You sit down and you're gonna eat 4 pounds of steak. Okay? And like you eat 2 pounds of it and you feel like, I feel kind of full. But if you went and ate a different food, you would find that suddenly you're hungry again. And that has to do with a whole list of things. Neurologically, when you taste a different food, it sends a different stimulus to your brain, and your brain recognizes that it's something different. And so like this whole cascade of dopamine and serotonin, even your leptin and ghrelin levels, all that stuff changes in response to a new taste. And so you can actually find that I'm hungry again. So like you ate 2 pounds of steak, but then you stop and you eat, I don't know, some ice cream, and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm hungry again. I'm sure you did this as a kid. You were like, I'm full, but I can still eat dessert. And that's because, we seek these novel tastes. So the bottom line is that when you do something like a carnivore diet, this actually helps you to break the habits you already have in place. Like, you're going to now eat the same food over and over and over again, which, at some point will become boring. And then you're only going to eat when you're actually physically hungry. So instead of eating, oh, I'm bored, I think I'll snack on some potato chips while I watch, I don't know, whatever TV show people watch these days, Simpsons. Um, and so, I'll snack on some potato chips while I watch The Simpsons. And you're doing it because you're bored. You're not physically hungry. Like, you just finished dinner and you go sit down on the couch and you snack on something. You're not in an energy deficit. But whenever you limit yourself to one single food, and we can just talk about potatoes if you guys like, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to sell the carnivore diet. If you eat nothing but potatoes, at some point you're going to be like I'm bored of potatoes, so you're not going to keep eating them, especially not when that boredom sets in and you're just doing the bored eating thing where it's like, I have nothing else to do, so I guess I'll snack. No, if you limit yourself to just one food, you're only going to eat whenever you are actually physically hungry. And it might take a week or two for this to set in, but I guarantee if you try a mono diet, you'll find that eventually it becomes boring, and then at that point you will only eat when you're actually physically hungry. And so I want to say that I actually think the carnivore diet can be a good thing. And I think that this can really benefit people from it's behavior. That's what it is. It's behavior. It's psychology, but it's behavior. So if you read Skinner, that's a great example and a great introduction into human behavior. A great deal of what we do is just habit, and so once you break those habits, you'll find that you stop doing them, and now you can replace those old habits with new habits. So I think that that's an important thing. And I know someone's going to comment that, oh, you can't be addicted to sugar or whatever, but you actually, like, the behavior, whether or not you're physically addicted to something is different than whether or not your behavior would resemble addiction, right? So we could make the argument then that people who keep seeking novel food and keep seeking sugary food are at least behaving, not that they're actually addicted, but they're behaving like it's an addiction. And so whenever you switch to a mono diet, and I don't care what your poison of choice is, whether it's I don't know, you like Twinkies or you like potato chips or pretzels or whatever your junk food of choice is, okay, when you switch to a mono diet, that behavior automatically is now like off limits. Like, you have to drop that behavior. By dropping that behavior, you break that habit, and then you'll find that later on you can put other habits in place, and when you put other habits in place, you're less likely to revert back to previous behaviors.